Thank you for joining in.
Hi, Marie.
How are you? Okay. All right. So أول شيء good evening. Sorry, في يمكن lag. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So, أول شيء good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for having us actually with you tonight. I'm going to start by sharing my screen. Okay, 1 second. Okay. Can you see the screen?
Yes, all good.
Okay, perfect. So tonight's topic is going to be about empowering women in the workplace and letting your voice echo. We are going to be talking about the different components of the voice. What is the importance of the voice? We are going to be introducing ourselves. But I want to say something, I'm so happy and proud to be here with you. I've known Maria for a really long time. كانت شفتان بسكوت وبعرفها من هي وصغيرة, and she was really remarkable, someone who was very different from the other girls, at least to me. And it feels so nice to be back and connected with her after a really long time. Thank you for this opportunity, Maria, and I hope you always thrive and succeed in everything that you do. So I'm going to start by telling you shway about who we are and what we do. So my name is Christina Kairouz. I'm a vocal coach and a professional singer. I come from a business background with a master's degree in HR and 7 years experience in HR. I discovered my talent and passion for music ever since I was a kid. I was around 8 years old. And I went into business, I always found ways to bring myself back to music, whether through performances, going on stage, taking online and in-person lessons. And around 5 years ago, I began teaching vocal lessons. End of 2019, I quit my job. I was tired of the 8 to 5 job, and I knew my passion was in music, was in teaching music as well. Unfortunately, من وراء الثورة and COVID and everything happening, my music career back before that was booming, بس رجع everything stopped. But the good thing about it was that last year I met Marie-reine. I'm going to give her the floor to هيك شوي تخبركم شوي أكتر عنها, and then we'll tell you exactly what EkoVoices is. Marie-reine?
Okay, so أنا اسمي Marie-reine Ayoub. I'm a speech and language pathologist. I graduated from the Lebanese University in 2014, but I was so passionate about the voice, I decided to go to Belgium. And in 2017, I got my vocalogy, my master's degree in vocalogy from the University of Liège. I did a bit of research. I started working in the university hospital and I had my own practice. So I was able to gain more experience with people suffering from ENT cancer, people suffering from vocal disorders, and voice professionals who just wanted to improve their voice. I came back to Lebanon 2 years ago. I met Christina and we decided to launch our company, EkoVoices, وهي رح تخبركم أكثر عنها.
So basically, our mission at Eko is to give your voice its signature. So نحن what we did was جمعنا Marie-reine's scientific background and experience, as well as her knowledge, with my artistic and business background to provide tailor-made and custom-made services and packages for voice professionals, whether they're singers, actors, TV presenters, voiceover talents, businessmen or businesswomen, salespeople, anyone who uses their voice as a major source of their income or a major source of their job. What's important here is, especially with everything going online, and حتى our voice is our part of our identity. So technically, مثل ما كل حدا منا عنده his own style in clothing or his own preferred cuisine. We are known for our voice, and we are here to raise this awareness about the impact and the importance of the voice in how people perceive us and how much of an impact we can have on others by using our voice. So our services are tailored to each person. وكمان if I want to be more specific نعمل شيء اسمه vocal assessment يلي بيفرجينا كل شيء خاصه بالvoice. It's a scientific and evidence-based practice. So based on that, we can know the strength and the weaknesses of a person's voice, and we can provide them with a package to help them achieve the best potential of their voice. So we're going to start with a quick survey. Since we're all females here, so it's easy for us to actually answer this. Marie-reine, if you'd like to take that.
Okay, so I have 5 questions for you. You just need to write down your answers فيكن بالchat section. It's a simple yes or no, okay? So, have you ever been interrupted during a meeting? So it can be a meeting, a presentation, sales pitch, حيلا شيء خاصه بالbusiness. Okay, so we have 1 yes. Okay, تاني سؤال. Have you ever been spoken over during a meeting? So كنتوا كتير محمسين and then someone started talking at the same time. Okay, في كتير yes. Third question, do you feel interrupted or spoken over more than your male colleagues? Okay. Number 4, do you feel like your colleagues, especially male colleagues, are taking credit for your ideas? Okay. And the last question, are you accused of being too emotional when you express your passion about an idea or a project? أو have you ever heard الجملة الشهيرة شو هرموناتك اليوم منن ظابطين؟ Okay, good. So if you answered 2 or more questions with a yes, then you are not alone and you are part of a larger group of women who participated in these studies that were conducted in the Yale University, in the US, and in Europe. So results show that women are significantly interrupted more than men. Actually, 50% of women are interrupted during a business meeting or sales pitch or presentation. 38% had others take credit for their ideas, and the last study showed that men are 33% more likely to interrupt their female colleagues rather than their male colleagues. So as you can see, women are undermined in the business world, especially when it comes to leadership roles. And if we think about it, these results come from the US and from Europe. So most probably, if we think about it, in our society and in the Arab world, I think the numbers are higher. But why is this happening?
Okay, so in order to understand, before actually we answer the why, any one of you is familiar with something called the Marie-reine concept of communication? Anna, I can't see, so if you can...
so Maria is saying no. Everyone said no.
Okay, so Marie-reine concept of communication was developed by someone called Albert Marie-reine. He is a doctor. عمل research. He's a doctor in business. عمل research related to for him to understand what were the main factors that affected face-to-face communication and proper understanding of this face-to-face communication between 2 individuals. So what he discovered was that there were 3 important factors يلي بيأثروا على كيف الواحد بيفهم المسج وقت يكون الشخص عم بيحكي. 55% of this message that was interpreted خاصه كان بالbody language. So كل شيء non-verbal communication, the way we look, the way our body is moving, how we are sitting, standing, etc. The voice constituted 38% of the communication. So basically it was how the message was given and sent. Okay, and 7%, اللي هو a very small percentage, was only given to words. So if you see, we have 93% of our communication, for it to be effective, relies on our voice and our body language, and only 7% on our words. So for example, if I tell you, I'm super excited, okay, as I say it in this tone, you're going to look at me and you're going to say, no, I don't believe you. And my tone and the words that I was saying were not in tune. But if I say, wow, I'm super excited, so my tone is compliant, or my words match what I'm actually conveying in terms of emotion. So this is so important for us to understand شو هن الفactors اللي بيأثروا على صوتنا, and how women can use those factors to better enhance their performance at work, their relationships with others, not just at work, and to also empower themselves and their voices, especially in their line of work.
Okay, so based on the model of communication that Christina just explained, let's take a look at the women's vocal parameters, and let's start with the pitch. So women tend to speak at a higher pitch than men because our vocal cords are smaller, and our larynx and the resonators in our face are also smaller and different than the one that men have. So studies showed that when someone is speaking at a higher pitch, the listener will think that they are younger and less credible, and they also might think or have the impression that they are less assertive. Another disadvantage related to the high-pitched voice is the difficulty of hearing the high-pitched voice in a very noisy environment or a noisy place. So when women are having a business meeting and there are a lot of people in the room, and maybe we're hearing the sound of the cars outside or any other noise, they will tend to raise the volume of their voice to make sure that they are heard. But if they do this, they will sound more aggressive. So لهلا, women in the business world sound more aggressive, less assertive, and younger and less credible because of their vocal parameters. One more thing. Recently, أكيد سمعتوا in Lebanon that a man accused a doctor, a well-known doctor, that her voice is very sexy and seductive. And because of this, he thought that the info that she was giving was less credible. So what is the science behind this? If you take a look at these two pictures, on the left, you have the vocal cords of a man speaking, and you can see that they are completely closed. If you look at the other picture, you can see that there is a posterior gap. So these are the vocal cords of a woman speaking. Through the posterior gap, the air can still go, and then we can still pass, and then you can have the breathiness in the voice. So this is why women sound more seductive and more sexy, and it's a very good thing when it comes to relationship. But once again, it's a disadvantage in the business world because we don't want to sound more sexy and more seductive. We want to sound more assertive and عنا power أكتر. The last one, women tend to upspeak. So upspeaking is raising the intonation at the end of the sentences. So if she's saying two sentences, she's gonna go like this. Na 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 na. So this is upspeaking. What she's supposed to do is to speak at and lower her intonation at the end of the sentence. So you should hear something like this. Na 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 na. If you upspeak, I make weird noises. You're gonna get used to it. If you upspeak repeatedly, you're gonna sound more hesitant and less firm. So as you can see, women are at a disadvantage in the business world because of their vocal parameters.
And not just that, it's not just about their vocal parameters, بس كمان at some point نحن as women, especially in society, we are viewed as أكيد سامعين كذا حدا عم بيقول إنه النسوان بيحكوا كتير أو إنه مسا كتير حكيت. So هيدا unconsciously it affects us women in a negative way, even if it was a joke. يعني it's some form of, if you want, bullying علينا, لأنه it's a prerequisite or it's putting us in a box إنه نحن we talk more. Although research shows that women do tend to speak more than men. However, we should not be shamed for it. But because of that, what women tend to do at work is in some way they hold back. Okay, so they speak in concise sentences, or they are afraid of taking up the space. They are afraid of claiming their space, and in some aspect they're afraid of bluntly bringing out or in a firm way saying giving their opinion. For example, فينا بدل ما أقول مثلا I don't like this, I can tend to say I think this is better, or I think the other choice is better. I don't know if any of you have personally experienced this or have had someone tell them that they've experienced this. But كمان this is something كمان that adds a certain factor that is a barrier for women to show that they are more confident through their voice. So what makes a voice confident? So حكينا عن المهري-reine concept اللي بيحكي عن body language, عن words وعن الvoice. With voice, we have several parameters or pillars that make a voice sound confident. And those pillars that we are giving you are not just to be used in the business world. Again, once you understand them and you practice them, you can use them anywhere in your life, which is also something very important. So عنا breathing, عنا posture, voice parameters اللي كمان رح نرجع نشوفهم in detail, with choice of words. In another aspect, we mentioned the body language and the non-verbal parameters اللي هن كمان dress code is very important. We're just mentioning them because they work together with the voice, but tonight we're not going to go into them. We're just going to be focusing on the voice.
Okay, so let's start with your breathing. عادة إذا بدي أعمل صوت, I need a source of air. So بالcase تبع your voice, what you need is the air going in. You have two different techniques to breathe. One is correct, it's not very good for you. I need you to try something with me. Put one hand on your chest and put another hand on your belly and try to take a deep breath. So if the hand that was on your chest moved, then you are not using the correct breathing technique. You are using what we call thoracic breathing. And this technique is not very good because it's going to put a lot of tension on the muscles around your vocal cords and on your vocal cords. And ما رح تخليكم تعبوا your lungs enough. What you need to actually do is to engage the muscles that are in your abdominal area. مشان هيك كتير تسمعوا بيقول لازم تتنفس من بطنك. The air will never go into your belly, بس يلي رح يصير إنه المسلز يلي بهيدا المنطقة هن اللي رح يشتغلوا. So to feel your diaphragm and other muscles in your abdominal area, I need you to put your hand like this على your rib cage and your back and try to say انتوا عم تقدروا تشوفوا إنه my hand is moving. So actually you're gonna feel your muscles moving. This is your diaphragm. And when you inhale, when you take a breath, يلي لازم يصير هو إنه you relax your diaphragm, and this is why your belly will go لبرا. And then when you exhale, your diaphragm رح يرجع يجي لمحله مشان هيك بطنكم بيرجع بيفوت. So this is the proper breathing technique, and if you do it correctly, then you're going to be able to support your breath when you're talking, and you're not going to feel the need to take your breath repeatedly or in the middle of the sentence. So this is one of the most important pillars, and Christina will talk about the second one.
Okay, so next we move to posture. Posture is very important on two aspects. First of all, on a psychological level. So Anna, for example, if you see this woman here on the right, or on the left, sorry, if the first impression that you can find إنه إذا طلعتوا فيها, maybe she's lazy, she's weak, she's tired, or she's low in confidence. You see her shoulders are slouched لقدام, and her knees are bent. So already شوي عم تطلع عن زول. If you try it right now while I'm talking and you guys go do like this, رح تحسوا subconsciously إنه ما عندكم هيدا confidence. إنه okay, إنه أنا I'm scared maybe, or I'm trying to protect myself. And if you go كتير لورا, اوكي مثل هي هون كمان البلي تبعها لبرا كمان ما عندها يعني even if I look at it right now there's no confidence in her stance كمان في uncertainty كأنه hesitation. هون this middle one هلا وقت أنا let's say كنت قاعدة هيك وجلست كتافي automatically it's going to give me this feeling إنه أنا I'm confident, I'm fresh, I'm strong on a psychological level. On a more vocal level, it's very important to have our neck, our shoulders, our hips and our feet aligned together in one straight line. ليش؟ لأنه مثل ما كنت عم فسر ماريرين the breath هو it's passing through like a tube in our body, the esophagus and all of that. فهذا الهواء needs a good passage for it to go upwards. ليش؟ لأنه بمحل we're not going to go into detail بس هلأ بعد شوي مارينا رح تفسر لكم شو يعني resonance. أنا بدي صوتي يرن رنة الصوت اللي دايما بنسمعها إنه بيرن الصوت أو حدا صوته حلو. ليش بدي صوتي يرن؟ لأقدر أنا طلع صوتي بطريقة مرتاحة بلا ما يعلق بزلعيمة وقدر وصل صوتي بconfidence وبpower بلا ما أكون عم بشد I'm sounding aggressive as Marie-reine said بلا ما أكون عم بأذي حالي وبلا ما أكون عم بحط effort. So my posture and my breathing are very important to hold this, hold my body that will help me hold my voice and project it in the right way. So again, while we're sitting here, كمان if I have a meeting, I don't go like this. دايما بضلني جلسة ورقبتي straight ما بعلق ولا بوطي تما اخنق حالي كمان. هلا we're gonna go into the choice of words because also words are important. مع إنه they're only 7%, بس كمان it's the choice of words that I use and the way I say them. First thing is eliminating fillers. شو يعني fillers? Fillers هن words, unnecessary words that I squeeze in a sentence just because either I'm hesitant, either I don't know what to say, I'm not sure of what I'm saying, maybe I'm thinking of what I want to say. So common fillers which we all have are مثل and, so, like, okay, well, there is, there are, now, right. So قبل ما أقول كل جملة for example, so let's do this. So let's see here. I just said the word so, by the way. We all have the tendency. It needs a lot of practice and a lot of self-awareness. A good thing to do is to record yourself and listen to it and try to, calm it. One big hack.
We're aware, هلا.
Yeah.
We're going to practice.
One important thing that can replace all this is something called the power pause. The power pause is a pause, is a silence, مش أكتر من 2 seconds or 3 seconds. If, for example, you guys are giving a presentation or you're talking to your team or you're giving a sales pitch or whatever it is, if you are hesitant or you need a certain moment to think, don't keep on talking. When you pause, أول شيء, you are giving yourself the space to think. Second, the person who's receiving your message, you're going to grab their attention more. And research shows that speakers thought, أو يعني كل العالم اللي بيطلعوا مثلا public speaking وهيك, they used to think إنه if they stop or they pause, the audience would perceive them as low on confidence. بينما it was completely the opposite. وقت they paused, the audience was waiting in anticipation to see what they were going to say next, and this gave them even more confidence. فرجة للعالم إنه they were more confident, and it attracted the attention of the audience. Is anyone interested in reading the example that we have here so that we can compare both sentences?
I can do it.
Okay.
So it's a very important point. And did you see the recent figures from yesterday? The second one. It's a very important point. Did you see the recent figures from yesterday?
So again, no need for the and.
Oh, again.
Oof, صاروا اثنين. No need for the and. Already ما إلها محل. As much as we can, if we need to think about something, we just pause 2-3 seconds. ونرجع منكفي. Another thing is eliminating negative and controlling words. No one likes controlling people. No one likes negative people. إذا أنا جيت قلت but, however, should, shouldn't, you can't, don't do this, don't do that. Instead of focusing on the negative, I can switch my sentence to sounds more positive. Or, for example, here, you're doing a good job, but you need to hit your deadlines quicker. Versus, you're doing a good job, you need to hit your deadlines quicker. If you guys noticed, when there was the but here, it's as if it negated the first part of the sentence where the employee was doing a good job. بس إنه okay, I'm doing a good job, بس ليه عم بتقلي إنه but you need to hit your deadlines? Maybe there is a need to hit the deadlines quicker, but in the second sentence, this part did not negate the fact that this employee was good. So this is important for us when we're dealing with our subordinates or team members to know how to frame or word the sentence without sounding negative. يعني if I want to give constructive criticism, ما بركز على don't, can't. باخدها in a positive way and I eliminate all the negative words. Also, the same goes for absolutes. ما في اجي أنا أقول ما في شيء absolute in the world except for technically facts that are proved by science and that have been working for the past 1,000 years, for instance. But I cannot say you will never be able to do that or never or always. لأنه دايما في exceptions to the rule. كمان the same thing. If I use those words on a subconscious level, my audience or the people I'm talking to are going to resist me in some aspect, and this is not good for me, especially if I'm trying to get a point across or I'm trying to get my argument across in a specific manner. So instead of saying your audience will never respond to that, you can say your audience will almost never respond to that, or your audience may never respond to that. Deceptive words. كم مرة كذا حدا منا بيقول للصراحة especially نحن اللبنانية عنا إياها كتير ب our culture إنه بدي أكون كتير صريح معك let's do this أنا هيك هيدا الشيء صدقني trust me وبنحلف ومليون شغلة. So really honestly frankly to tell you the truth actually they are going to undermine your honesty and how people are going to perceive you. يعني مثل ما بيقولوا كل شيء زاد بالمعنى نقص. No need to add. Let's see this example. Frankly, this section is very helpful versus this section is very helpful. So in this second example, for me at least, if you can also agree with it, it shows I'm confident in what I'm saying. I do not need to explain myself or prove myself إنه أنا مش جاية إنه بدي أقنعك أو بدي أقنعك. خلاص, I know that this is for a fact, something I am very confident about and I am fully aware of. Frankly, it will بصير إنه كمان with the subconscious mind إنه إنه بركي يعني شو قصده يعني ما كان honest معي أو ما كانت honest معي هلا ليش عم تقلي frankly. So هولي كمان small nuances in how we talk, but they will really have a major effect on our relationships with others, especially at work. كمان I'm sorry. I'm sorry is an adjective. I apologize is an action verb. An adjective is an أنا قلت I'm sorry I said that. I'm linking this apology to my identity as a person, which is not right because I'm not a bad person technically. I apologize. I'm linking the apology because it's an action verb to my action, which was not right. So it has nothing to do with who I am. It has to do with my action. كمان for leaders or subordinates or managers, this is so important to know. هول small nuances كتير بيأثروا على the communication with subordinates, with other managers, or with top management. And finally, before we go to the vocal parameters, it's very important to use directionals and confident language, especially when we're presenting. Or, for example, if I am giving a speech or a presentation or I'm giving a training, if I say, عندي booklet فتحته قدامي, would you please open page 55, for example? There's a difference between saying this and saying, head to page 55. I'm not being mean, I'm not being bossy, I'm just showing more confidence because if I want to take their opinion, if I want to take their permission, يعني مثل هون allow me, perhaps, kind of, I hope, let me, sort of, I guess, I think, maybe, هول كلهم بيفرجوا إنه أنا ما عندي confidence بشو عم بقول. I am hesitant, I don't know what I have to say. بينما words of conviction, when I say I will, absolutely, yes, certainly, with confidence وقت أقولهم in confidence كمان كتير رح تغير طريقة كيف العالم are going to perceive me.
Okay, so now let's take a look at how we can change and how we can enhance our vocal parameters. And as we said earlier, women are put at a disadvantage in the workplace because of their voice. So what we need to do is to lower the pitch, use a deeper resonance, learn how to project the voice, use the appropriate intonation, and work on the speech rate. Let's start with the pitch. What you need to do in order to lower your pitch, Christina, if you can show us the next one, please. Thank you. So the first step is to be aware about the pitch that you are using when you're talking. The pitch is the frequency. So I can be speaking using a very low pitch. It can be even a manly pitch. Or I can speak using a very high-pitched voice. So this is a very high pitch and kids talk like this. Or I can speak using a comfortable pitch for me. بس دايما جاري بتكون بين بالاريا تبع الميكست فويس بين man and women. So منا كتير عالية منا كتير واطية لأنه نحنا منا رجال بس من جاري بنلاقيها بالنص. تقدروا تلاقوا هيدا البيتش. You need to experiment, you need to try and do different sounds with your voice. You need to record yourself, listen to the recording, repeat if you're not happy, try to change something, try to discover your pitch. حتى sometimes if you just مثلا lower your chin رح يصير عندكم pitch واطية. إذا your neck is like this رح تصيروا يمكن عم تحكوا ب a higher pitch. So you just need to be aware and then choose a pitch تكون كتير مريحة لإلكم at the same time مريحة ل your listener. But this alone is not enough لأنه sometimes you cannot keep the pitch هي ذاتها. What you need to do تما أنتوا تكونوا عم تتعبوا is to also create and use a deeper resonance. So what is resonance? مثل ما قلنا قبل شوي, your voice is a sound wave. So when you're exhaling, the air will go up your trachea and then it will hit your vocal cords. And at this point, the sound wave will be created. But before the sound wave leaves your mouth, it's gonna go through, it will travel through the different cavities that you have in your face, your oral cavity, your nasal cavity, your pharynx, كل empty spaces that you have on your face. in your بوشكن. So إذا بتغيروا شكل الكافيتي رح يتغير الصوت. وفي عنا شيء اسمه chest voice and the head voice. The voice رح يضل عم يجي من your vocal cords بس the difference هي وين رح تحسوا بالvibration أكتر. So you can try and put again your hand on your chest والتانية على your forehead. So إذا you go like this, so this is my chest voice and I'm going to feel the vibrations على my chest. If I go like this, this is my head voice. رح كون عم حس بالvibration أكتر. مثلا أنا هلأ حسيت فيهم بين my tongue and my palate. So this is my head voice. When you're speaking, especially in a business meeting, you're not supposed to use your head voice. You're not supposed to use a high-pitched voice. ركزوا أكتر على your chest voice and feel the vibration in your chest وحتى كل شيء هون around your neck. تالت شغلة لازم نعملها is to learn how to project our voice. So that there is a difference between shouting and projecting the voice. When you're shouting, you're putting a lot of tension and pressure on your vocal cords, and حتى you're putting yourself at risk of developing a vocal disorder. When you project your voice, what you actually do is you support your breath وبتعطوا كمية هواء أكتر وكمان بتستعملوا your resonators. So if I open my mouth بكبر هيدا هون الكافيتي يلي هون, the sound wave will have more power and it will be able to travel أكتر in the room وتوصل بمطرح خصوصا إذا كان في ضجة توصل لأبعد. One more thing, it's very important to use a microphone sometimes. إذا كنا بمطرح فيه عن جد كتير عالم هيدا وقتها تخلص COVID. وحتى it's important to use a microphone if you have an online business meeting وفي حواليكم كتير ضجة. ما تكونوا أنتم عم تسمعوا كل هيدا الضجة وتما تعملوا شيء بنسميه فرساج, يعني بحط تنشن بعد أكتر على my vocal cords تيطلع صوتي ويكون واضح. So I use a microphone instead. رابع شغلة and I'm going to be very brief بهيدا. You need to use the appropriate intonation. Intonation is the music that you add to your voice and that you add to your words. So إذا أنا بحكي كل الوقت هيك أنا كتير monotonous وأنتوا بالآخر رح تزهقوا لأنا ما بغير البيتش عم بتضلها هي ذاتها. What you need to do is to play with your pitch. يعني يكون في عندي rise and fall and sometimes I might hold the intonation هي ذاتها. هلا رح نجرب اكزرسيس صغير مع كريستينا بعد شوي. And the last thing that you need to work on is your speech rate. So speech rate هو قد ايه انا رح كون عم بحكي بسرعه وفينا نعرف قد ايه وهذا is part of the vocal assessment يلي نحن كمان بنعمله. So your speech rate is slow if you are using less than 110 words per minute, and your speech rate is fast if you're using more than 160 words per minute. What you need to do is to speak بهيدا الرينج بين 110 and 160, but sometimes you need to slow down your speech rate مثل ما هلا أنا عملت. إذا أنتوا you want to make an idea, yes, إذا بدكم تركزوا كتير على هيدا على فكرة. Yes, you can slow down. And sometimes if you want to create more excitement and if you want your listener to project himself ويفوت معكم بهذا الشيء اللي عم تخبروه إياه, you can go faster تا يخلق هيدا الصورة ب his brain and then بترجعوا على السبيتش rate يلي هو عادي.
Okay. So هلا رح نعمل a small exercise and I'd like for you to participate if it's possible. Maria, إذا فيك أول شيء تفسركم what we're going to be doing exactly. So what we just discussed right now in terms of vocal parameters اللي هن الpace والvolume والinflection, those parameters vary depending on what I want my audience to, or what I want to tell my audience. So for example, if I want to excite them and I want to build enthusiasm, my inflections, which is my intonation, and my volume should go up a bit. My pace can either stay the same أو مثل ما قالت Marie-reine من شوي في يسرع my pitch, my pace. So I'm going to start. I'd like Maria to read the first sentence, and I would like you to tell me وين هن برأيك the words that need to be focused on كرمال لأقدر أعطي هيدا الenthusiasm.
Okay, you want me to read it with the enthusiasm or without it?
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
There are actually 3 ways to build this project, and they are all very exciting and easy to accomplish. Did I get it all
very
right?
nice.
I think I could have added more.
Okay, like what?
Very exciting and easy, probably.
Exactly. And the 3 ways you gave it was very, very well. بدك ترجع تعيديها. Let's try to repeat it again.
There are actually 3 ways to build this project, and they're all very exciting and easy to accomplish.
Perfect. That was awesome. Okay, I told you guys, she's amazing. Yeah, Allah, that's
I've been
awesome.
listening attentively.
Okay. Next, مين عباله يجرب. So now we're going to go to stressing importance. كمان our inflections should go up, our volume goes down, although نحن ممكن نفكر إنه لازم يطلع الفوليوم بس لا لأنه we're stressing importance. It's somewhat telling someone it's like you're telling them a secret, you know. Your pace كمان بنوقف لأنه you want people to really focus with you and be fully aware of what you're saying. فمين بيحب يجرب؟
I can try.
I think we have some newcomers. Yeah, go ahead.
يلا. Cool.
Okay, I can go if you want.
Sarayal, if you want.
Yes, ready when you are.
Okay. Nobody will listen to you unless you follow these specific guidelines. When you do, it will change everything for your audience.
Okay, where do you think we should stress on which words exactly are the important ones here?
I think unless.
Okay.
And on the pause, on the comma of when you do.
Correct. في شي بعد؟
Everything.
Okay, very good. سبتة أنا for me سبتة when you do comma is correct. Everything is perfect. But I would say instead of unless, let's go for specific because specific guidelines here it's also very specific. So أنت عم تقولي لهم you want to stress on the importance of the word specific. So can you try to repeat this again with the stressing شوي على specific?
Nobody will listen to you unless you follow these specific guidelines. When you do, it will change everything for your audience.
Perfect. حتى فيك كمان nobody will listen to you unless you follow these specific guidelines. Okay, and حتى you can lower شوي your volume. When you do, it will change everything for your audience. So you're trying as if you're, giving them the secret, but it's very important. Next, who'd like to check the call out or distinguish? So هون, actually, I'm going to do this one. The inflections will vary. When we call out or distinguish, this means that we're going from يعني, this versus that. So volume, pace, and inflections are going to vary. First part can be sometimes you want to walk in this direction. عليت my inflection. Other times, it's best to follow another path. And then I went down. Or حتى فيه بلش العكس. Sometimes you want to walk in this direction. Other times, it's best to follow another path. So you see, we can vary as long as we're trying to kind of compare and contrast. There has to be a change. واحدة inflection طالعة ترجع الثانية بتنزل. Engaging. So inflections. So for me to engage my audience, come in. I have to vary my inflections. My volume has to vary as well, and my pace has to vary لأنه I need to keep them engaged. يعني ما في يضلني على the same pace وإلا بيزهقوا. Who'd like to try it?
Can I try? Okay.
يلا.
When I isolate the variables, there's a lot of dynamic things that you're able to see and follow along with.
Where do you think you can stress, or where are the keywords here in
dynamic.
this sentence?
And
okay.
Then after the comma variables comma, maybe a little bit of a pause. And
okay.
حسيت كمان isolate.
Okay. في شيء تاني بعد؟
To see and follow.
Okay. Actually, هو لازم يكون في when you isolate the variables. There's a typo here. This when you said dynamic. Okay, عم جرب بس اتذكر شو قلت. When you isolate the variables, الكومة مظبوطة. Okay, there's a lot of dynamic things. Okay, dynamic is one, and you're able to see and follow. كمان لأنه كمان you're showing them the result. So كمان you're trying to engage them in what you're saying. So you want them to focus on able to see and follow. Let's try it again one more time by taking into consideration the comma, dynamic things, able to see and follow.
When you isolate the variables, there's a lot of dynamic things that you are able to see and follow along with.
Cool. That was really good. Next, building comfort. شوف بس قد عنا وقت. Okay, building comfort. So technically, when you build comfort, it's supposed to be something stable. So my pace, my inflections, and my volume have to be stable. It's somewhat, if you want to think about it, as something consistent. So for people to trust you, you have to show consistency. And this consistency, when you build comfort, or بهذه الconsistency, you can build comfort. So ما ضروري هون كتير يكون في variation فيها. I'm gonna skip to something more interesting, which is هول بعد عنا those last two ones. So urgency. So if I want someone to really focus on what I'm trying to tell them because there's a certain emergency or there's something super, super, important and urgent, الانفلكشن تبعي بدي وطيها, volume بدي غيره, والpace كمان has to vary. Who'd like to try this?
I'll try. Okay, go.
يلا.
يلا go.
Okay.
لا يلا ماريا go.
Urgency, right?
Yes.
We've got to get off the plane. Wait, actually, no. We've got to get this plane off the ground in the next 3 minutes, or we might not be able to fly at all today. Sorry, I have to read it the first time. I just didn't get that right. Okay. We've got to get this plane off the ground in the next 3 minutes, or we may not be able to fly at all today. Yeah.
Perfect. So you're stressing on the next 3 minutes and off the ground,
Yes.
correct?
Basi kaman all today.
I would say go for got. We've got to get this plane off of the ground in the next 3 minutes. Then 3 minutes is the time frame, which is also important, or we may not be able to fly at all today. So here 3 minutes is more important than today, because right now it's the urgency of this 3 minutes. Akid, it will affect the other one. You want to try it again?
We've got to get this plane off the ground in the next 3 minutes, or we may not be able to fly at all today.
Perfect. And the last one, لأنه our time is a bit short, confidence. When Kamina, you want to show confidence, and let's say something you want to celebrate with your team, and you just want to give them good news. دايما inflection بطلع وبنزل. وبعطي هيدا deep voice مثل ما كانت عم تقول Marie-reine, with my resonating voice. My volume should be moderate. I'm not going to go super high, and I'm not going to go super low. And Kamina, I can pause. So we're going to make this jump to the next level. And when we do, there will be a fond memory that gets put into place for everyone involved. So come in, I can vary with that. And at the end, I just lower my inflection. So before we wrap it up and we take your questions, if you have any question, we chose a quote that we really like and that really inspires us, and not just us, but not because we are professionals with the voice, but because we believe that every woman has a voice, and a woman with a voice is by definition a strong woman. So it's just the courage that we have to put ourselves out there. And as two women entrepreneurs, we know how important it is for women to keep on, نوصل صوتنا to other people. هلا أنا ما كتير رح أتفلسف عليكم، لأنه بلش هلا بصير كتير بخدع بالمشاعر. بتعرفني Marie-reine, وI think Maria كمان. It's just thank you again for having us tonight. We really hope that you found this valuable, and we really hope that if any of you would like to come in, you need anything, any questions or any help from our side, we'd love to be of help to you and assistance in any way. Just keep on pushing forward. I know, especially in your field as women, it's a man-dominated field, the tech field. Anjad, this is an honor to be with you here, and may you keep thriving, all of you, and we wish you both all the success.
Thank you.
You can follow us on EkoVoices, and if you guys have any questions.
Thank you so much. I have a quick question. How can we reach out to EkoVoices? And do you have any sessions, personal sessions you offer? What kind of package can we get from EkoVoices?
Marie-reine, you would like to answer this? Okay. So أول شيء
you can answer.
I can share على our Instagram page. We have على الhandle actually بالبايو تبعنا. There's our phone number. You can reach out to us through WhatsApp. Maria, if you'd like, I can share the contact info with you. You can spread it. Yes, أكيد we do give individual sessions. مثل ما كنا عم نقول إنه we start with a vocal assessment to better understand each person's needs. يعني كل شيء بنعمله is based on the evidence and the facts that we collect, or the numbers that we have, خاصة بالvoice parameters تبع كل حدا. And based on that, when we see and identify the strength and the weaknesses of each person's voice, we create a specific and a specific package for them. Okay, based على هالpackage فيه يكون 6 sessions, فيه يكون 8 sessions, وبالآخر بيكون في a practicum session where you can put everything you learned بينه وبين Marie-reine حسب النيد تبع الشخص into practice, and then we evaluate this progress. So أكيد we're reachable anytime during the week. كمان إذا بدكم تعرفوا, our sessions are once per week, 45 minutes per session, and we're reachable at any time. يعني حتى if we've had clients who've had presentations and speeches and talks that we've worked on together with them to enhance their performance. And especially as women, we feel so proud that we can also help our other fellow women, business women and leaders and all that.
Thank you so much, Christina. Thank you so much, Marie-reine. This session was amazing. It was great.